Hello, welcome back. We're going to start Unit 5 today with a rounding review. Rounding your numbers and decimals is going to be super important and helpful with percentages. So we're going to review that today. Let's get started. Let's get going. Woo! Okay, before we get too into it, yours at the top might say 5.0. I don't really know what happened there. But make sure that you're on the rounding page. And what I'm writing, you are writing, copying down the notes, pausing the video as you need to. Trying a new pen that's hopefully less loud on the videos. So, wish us luck. Okay, so our I can statement is just I can round decimals. That's it. Okay, just rounding decimals. So this little chart tells us the places. So here's your decimal point. So coming before the decimal, you have your ones place, your tens place, and your hundreds place. And it would go on thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, okay? It would go on to the left. Okay, after the decimal point, oh, real quick. Sometimes the ones place, when we say round to the nearest ones, we don't really say that. It's also called the nearest whole number. So if you say the nearest whole number, it just means the ones place. So to the right, after the decimal point, so here's the decimal point, the tenths is the first one, hundredths is the second one, thousandths is the third one. Okay, so we skip ones because we don't say once, right? We start with tenths, okay? So this question says, 1 is in which place? So I'm going to identify 1, and it is in the hundreds place. Okay. And it says 8 is in the blank place. What place? So 8 is right here, and it is in the tenths place. Oops. So 8 is in the tenths place. All right, our next question says, which number is in the tens place without the TH? So here's my tens, and that number is 2. Okay, and then our last question, what number is in the hundredths place? So here's my hundredths, and 9 is there. Okay. All right, so that's like half the battle of rounding, figuring out which place am I supposed to round to, okay? So you can refer back to this chart if you ever get stuck, you're not sure what number after the decimal or before the decimal that should be. So to remember how to round, there's a little rhyme. It says, find the place, look next door, 5 or bigger, add 1 more, 4 or less, let it rest. Okay? So round 119 to the nearest tens place. I'm going to rewrite the number. So 119. The tens place goes ones, tens. So I find my place. So I underline where that is. I'm rounding to the nearest tens. Okay? And I look next door. We look to the right. Okay, so I found my place, I underlined which number I want to round, I looked to the right. If that number is 5 or bigger, we add 1 more. Okay, so since 9 is bigger than 5, I get to add 1 to that 1 becomes 120, okay? So just that number changes, and then everything after it becomes a 0. And I use this squiggle equals because that means approximately equal. So 120 is not exactly equal to 119. It's kind of close to 119. So we use the squiggle. All right. Next one, round 1.358. I'm going to start by writing it. 0.358 to the nearest hundredth. So I find my place. Goes decimal point, tenths, hundredths. So 5 is in the hundredths place. And then I look next door, I look to the right. 5 or bigger, we add 1 more. So I'm going to add 1 to the 5. It becomes 6. Okay, and then anything after it, so to the right of that, becomes a 0, which you could also write as just 1.36. Okay. Right, round 17.83 to the nearest ones place. So 7 is in the ones place. I look next door. It's 5 or bigger, so I add 1 more. And everything else goes away, so it just is 18. Feel free to pause this as you need if I'm going too fast. I don't want to make this a 20-minute video. That would be silly. Okay. Round 1.137 to the nearest whole number. Remember that that means the ones place. Okay? So I find my place. Here's the ones place. I look next door. 5 or bigger, add 1 more. 4 or less, so 1 is less than 4, so we let it rest. So the 1 stays the same. 1.1, then everything else goes away. Oh, sorry, the nearest, sorry. Let me go back. So that 1 stays the same, then everything else goes away. So it just rounds to 1. I accidentally rounded to the tenths. So if you caught me, good job. All right, round 29.3362 to the nearest tenth. So we're going to rewrite it. 29.3362. The first 3 is in my tenths place. I look next door. It's 4 or less. So it's just going to stop here, and all of this is going to go away. So 29.3. That's what that rounds to. Right. Uno más. 0.01591 to the nearest hundredth. Goes tenths. The 1 is in the hundredths place. I look next door. 5 or bigger, add 1 more. That is 5, which is included. So we add 1 to the 1. 0.02, and then the rest of it goes away. All right, that's rounding. I know it might have been a review, but it's maybe been a while. Hopefully that refreshed your memory. All right, on the practice, don't forget to read the instructions. This first level, you're just identifying which number is in which place. And then pay attention to if it's the nearest hundredth, tenth, whole number, okay? You got this. You're rock stars. Have a good day. Make good choices. See you later.